Hello Total War Gamers, my name is Deacon and welcome back to our Tyrion campaign. We're reviewing Warhammer Total War and the second edition at that. And if you've seen my previous episode, there's a way that we try to review this, and that is by discussing the different game features that we encounter as we play along. Now we're sieging this settlement for the first turn. We can fight it, but we're going to try and at least create a battering ram for our units to go through. So we're going to siege it for a single turn and then play it on the next turn. And in the meantime, I've set up review campaigns also for the other three races, so in the descriptions below there will be links to also Morathi, Mazdamundi and Quick Head Taker. The plan, as last time, was to make a large circle around these three, those two, and then back here, conquer two provinces. However, our friends here of Safari or Safari, please do help me out with the pronunciation in that respect. These guys do have Illyrian Reavers and don't know what else here, but they're beating us to it. And well, I think in a next campaign I might actually ignore this, leave this to the garrison, maybe, yeah, and they just go take a half stack, go this way. I don't know. They might as well simply declare war on us. They're elves, but our relations with the other elves aren't precisely very good. Intrigue at court, we could use it, but we're saving up our extremely rare influence. We're 7 turns in, we have only 4 to recruit better lords, as well you could have seen. In the meantime, little note is that tomorrow I will be in the hospital in the evening, and then they're gonna operate me the next day, which will be Monday, and then they'll keep me there for like 5 days or so. And where I will go next I do not yet know. It's kind of all out in the open. I'm gonna request wherever I'll be staying that they bring over my PC. I hope there's gonna be a decent internet connection. If not, I have tons of gameplay I can record in advance and publish later. But with the launch of Warhammer II, I actually created my channel short time before, like two weeks before the game launch. And I've only really just started, so having to interrupt this so early in my YouTube career, let's call it that, is just unfortunate. However, this is not what I do for a living. I do expect to have a new job in 9 months or so, or another job, which is when I expect to recover from yeah, this condition. With I'll tell you later. Let's just hit the end turn. Hey, sound effects were just gone, and I hear only singing and music, so I'm going to have to... Oh, we're getting a battle. No, we're not getting a battle. Oh, yes, we are getting a battle. Oh, they have 2 armies here. They're both in forced march. Interesting. Oh, we are getting a battle. So now this is a sally. The garrison is sallying and the rest is reinforcements, and I'm going to quick save and see if I can help myself review the settings of sound. Now here's a surprise. Music is not even so very high. Effects are on, but I didn't... Okay, let's try it this way. I keep jagging this around, and this should make noises, shouldn't it? Anyway, now suddenly we are on the defense rather than the offense. Of previous battles that we had were offensive ones. Basically, all we need to do is beat this garrison, and the recruitment or the reinforcements are not going to appear on the map right away, and they should be fatigued. It doesn't really display here on the stats, but they are in forced march stance, so fatigued reinforcements should be easy kills. These guys do not have a lord, so it should be easier to rout. Then we'll rout the rest of these armies, and then if the lords are still offering resistance, We'll try and hurt them, but this is going to be so cool to have easy pickings after this battle is over. We win a settlement hopefully, and then can gain more XP over there. This island has been taken by Sefri, which I think should be our next objective. So let's dive right in, fight the battle. And meanwhile, while the battle loads, I'm gonna open my bottle of Coke here and fill up my glass. Because as we talk, I also... well, I dry out my throat, is that it? Weapon types: swords, axes, maces, spears, and detailed. So we have detailed weapon type. What's this? Now you can pull up the detailed information about the units on the units panel. I try to always have that on, so whenever I click any unit, we should be able to see the stats on the left here, like this. I've switched the campaign advisor to text only. Is that the reason why now my units aren't talking back? I think it's really very strange. Game settings, advisor minimal, but to not have any sound feedback. It's annoying. I think it's annoying, and I'm also annoyed that I can't find out why this is, as if I just disabled each and every I must have done something, and again I have no clue why. This is not something I consider to be a bug, but if it's something that is in the settings, I can't undo it in any kind of way through the interface where you'd expect it. Not in game settings, not in controls. This doesn't. This is just keyboard settings. And if I muted anything, there's no warning or notification or whatsoever that did this. Okay, well, it may be a bug, but still, we're on release. I'm pissed off, basically. I'm gonna put my archers right at this edge over here, put them in skirmish, maybe not even. Put my spears in front, my phoenix is gonna go to the right to do flankings, interceptions. Now Tyrion, I'm gonna keep in reserve. He's not gonna rank up. These archers are going to rank up, however, at some point in the campaign we will actually probably swap them around for other units. Now let's make sure we use these abilities. So I'm just gonna fly over with my phoenix here and try and drop some loads on them and see how they behave. Boom. Cooldown. Boom. Ouch. Boom. Let's try and hit the spammen again. Let's not do that actually. So these archers are now aware of my phoenix bombing them. And they're also being prioritized by my own archers, kind of like by default. There is a slight delay, and well, basically I'm keeping them moving and they're not really they're not doing much, let's put it that way. Now Tyrion, Imagine what would happen if we had cavalry. I don't know about my Phoenix, it's just sitting there. It says it's in melee. Okay. It's just sitting still. Can you charge in? Okay. Okay, I want to use the bomb ability once more. Can you take off already or not? Yeah, there you go. Okay, so now we're gonna bombard. There you go, boom. And boom. And let's see if we can drop multiple bombs on them. Now they're flying away from us, so bomb them. And they're intelligent, so they're moving away in multiple directions. And they're also shattered, so we've lost some of our what do you call them? Of our spares, but not much really. And multi-shot. I have to remember that at the start of every battle, rather than the units remembering via some sort of a cookie or whatever. It doesn't do it by itself. And I still think that is kind of silly. That should have been a lot easier. Now look at this reinforcement army being all clumped up here. And I'm gonna pull out and move back here. Don't want to lose too many hit points. Now Tyrion can go into this bleak swords. We're eventually gonna run out of ammunition, which I think is interesting. Because I haven't seen that happen before until now. And I'm gonna return with my Phoenix, see if I can do a little bombing mission. Tyrion here is basically holding back the entire reinforcement army, which is now gonna see. Boom! There you go. For the rest, we don't have any magic yet. These archers do love to focus on my Phoenix, so I'm gonna pull it back, keep most of his hit points, and they do a lot of damage on it. It's interesting to find out that against other elven factions. Now we don't have, it's regenerating its hit points, isn't it? Not really. Now Tyrion is just sitting there tanking everybody, and they're basically not putting even the slightest scratch on him. So I'm gonna forward some of my archers and keep the pressure on. And Black Ark Core says, oh, they have triggered their these are Dark Elves. Well, they're also an elven faction. But we're gonna press in with Tyrion and also with our spares basically. And I'm going to focus with the archers that still have arrows on this unit here, that is Osat, the Dreadlord, with a reinforcing one. So let's put Tyrion on the Dreadlord as well. And now this spare unit is going to come here. This one's going to come here, and it's going to basically discourage all those archer units to stay close. And where Tyrion was just tanking basically everything, we're gonna push up with everything we have and break their morale. And there's a morale debuff, of course, in just being surrounded. We don't even have to attack them on their flanks, but just sitting on their flanks is already going to hurt their morale. So even archers that are not in melee, that are not going to even be in melee, just for them to be here is going to hurt the enemy. And the Eagle Claw Ball Thrower is now going to hit the Black Arc Corsairs. I'm going to keep my Phoenix chasing off routing units as long as possible, because it will continue to rack up kills, because most of the army still hasn't routed yet. So I'm not against drawing the battle out, basically. Suits me just fine. You put the hurt on these guys. Now Phoenix. Here's a unit that you can still harass. Let's make ourselves useful. Oh, they're all going after the same unit. Black Arc Corsairs. Now I think they're about to shatter everyone. Okay, let's end it quickly so we can fight them again maybe later. Hopefully. Makter. He's lost. We've lost 144, which is like over 10% of our army, but not much more. Well, there's a diplomacy hint that we can get trade agreements and alliances. I've asked this last time. How do you like the diplomacy in Warhammer Total War? Is it superfluous? Should it be fleshed out? I'd like to know. Also, naming for any characters or lords, even settlements. Now, I think the settlements are probably lawful already, but if you have any like lawful improvements to the settlements that are, well, it's possible to pronounce, I was going to say, but there's plenty of stuff that's already very hard to pronounce. So if you hear me slaughter pronunciations, please let me know. Put it down in the comments and in phonetic spelling suggestions for names. I love to hear. Now, I just mentioned in my previous video that I recorded just before this, which was the campaign launch of Queek, that I have ADHD and I'm a gaming dad. But so I have children, which cause a lot of noise, and gaming is one way for me to actually reduce the number of stimuli. And I know I have friends that tell me, okay, how can you not get overstressed by a game, because it's full of visuals, it's full of noises, full of flashing, and how can that even relax you? And then I have to say, okay, all right, if that is stressful for you, imagine how stressful the normal level of impulses and stimuli I get throughout the day with children, for example. If for me this is actually lowering the level. Now, it's not entirely true, of course. My brain, it just functions differently, basically. And I think same is true for anyone else with ADHD. But what the game does is it actually narrows your focus, or at least mine, to a more narrow tunnel, a narrow spot. It's more like a spot on the horizon that you focus your attention on and to, and away from all the rest. And now I have a headset with background suppression, so to say, so it blocks out kind of the rest of the noise in the area. That also kind of helps to bring more focus, but even without that, this has always worked the same for me. So I've been gaming since I was like a teenager. 20 years. 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 20 and well, it kind of relaxes me. The stress levels go down in at least an hour. If I'm stressed and I start playing a game, just automatically, with having my attention drawn to a single point, everything else kind of disappears. And well, and I've caused the certain amount of frustration with my environment that doesn't really understand this, and also I've only recently found out I'm 41 years old now, but I was 40 when I found out that I actually have this diagnosis, and the previous part of my life have made it inexplicable for myself as well, to my environment, friends, family, and so on, to explain how this actually works for me. And this did take a god awful long time though. And we have almost our entire army still standing. But anyway, I didn't get around to touching upon that whole subject in the previous game. I don't know if you're going to conquer this. Should it take replenishment, XP, or treasury? I'm gonna go for the replenishment because they'll get XP anyway, and eventually we're gonna swap these units in and out as well. Let's see what remains of the garrison after this. We're still sieging, and the armies have disappeared, but where did they go to? Spiders of Vortex, go away. So Tyrion has ranked up. Awful. Potion of Strength. Enemy killed in battle. Now what I'll do is I'll do a quick save and a quick load and see if that brings back any sound effects in the campaign, because having no sound effects is just so weird. I didn't really notice once we were getting going in the battle, but on campaign, having none of them. They're still muted. Crap. And it's quite possible that I actually pressed a button combination without my noticing, or mispressed something, and then I've muted it. I've muted game effects. Is there any keybind that lets you mute the game effect sounds in campaign? Or toggle effects? No. Camera, tactical map, miscellaneous. Toggle music, Alt M, Alt X. Toggle sound effects. I have accidentally pressed Alt X. Now, there's one. Okay, so what happens if we go back?
Kill them.
Now it's back. Alright, so if ever you happen to have this same thing, why would anyone want to do that? Speed of Assyrian. Now, I'm gonna suppose this only applies to Tyrion, and then I can really do without. If it affects the entire army, then it's certainly incredibly valuable, but I doubt that. So we're gonna be around with Spearmen, Archers, and Lothan Seaguards for a while. Also Illyrian Reavers and Silverhelms all receive a bonus from this ability. It's just awesome. I really can't. We'll have this army for quite a while to come, and I don't expect that to change anytime soon. Now I'm gonna save this and auto-resolve and see what happens to our Phoenix, because the rest, we've lost 54 and not too many hit points on the Phoenix. We're just gonna occupy, and we've unlocked the right invocation of Assyrian. It's available through the rights panel. We gain influence. minus construction, public order plus. It's just very nice, and this gives unity to attrition. Well, we're not suffering attrition. Casualty replenish rate and untainted for 10 turns and once in every 40 turns. Let's get some tainted provinces added to our empire first before we perform this. 5 turns of public order. It can be nice, but you know, I'm not gonna really. Now this is a problem, or not really a problem, but it's annoying. So either they declare war on us, or we will declare war on them. Regardless, can we construct here local? No. So I'm not gonna disband any units. I'll do this again, but we're gonna try and wipe them out from. Oh, we can't move anymore, can we? No. Next turn. Now there's a settlement upgrade available where the glittering tower, but no, I want it here, and we lack the funds. Oh, and we're gonna lack the funds for a while to come. But still, I'm not going to spend it here. What does this do? Gives a +3 public order. And this actually gives a +2. So 1 extra public order per turn for 1500. So I prefer to keep my cash around and first build this. We've gained some equipment, potion and armor. So where's Tyrion? How are we doing, buddy? Character details. We now have a potion and armor. This is common. +2/+2 physical resistance 5, and the dragon scale is +5 10 fire resistance, ward save 6. I'm gonna switch it around. They're both common, I suppose, but you know, the cloak of beards or the potion of strength. Cloak of beards causes fear and terror. Wow, I like that. So I'm just gonna keep that. Then skills we've just spent, and movement we can't do. Diplomacy. Let's see if.
Your behest.
Oh yeah.
You may approach and make your request.
Kothic.
Absurd.
Absurd. No, then don't do. Grace.
Welcome, fellow.
How about trade?
Very well.
Oh yes, it also benefits you. The Empire, non-aggression.
Not likely.
Not likely. No then. Illyrian.
Defender of the Phoenix Throne.
You
I
must.
find talking to your kind most trying.
Well then, don't talk to me. Influence. I'm not gonna spend. Still at only 4 missions. 4 missions. Provincial control. Maintain control of a whole province. We'll have to take that. Time of Heroes. Archive. Grand Repository. Avant-Garden. So we need to upgrade our settlement first. Search a ruined settlement for treasure. Well, that was just occupied over there, and well, we can do this, but not anytime soon.
Champion of the Ever Queen.
So, yes. Yes. You're not going to fight us.
What do you wish to discuss?
Yeah, military alliance. What are our current treaties? We already have a defensive alliance with them. Then let's just go all the way. Thing is, I did regret afterwards taking an alliance with them, but because it could drag us into way too many wars. On the other hand, we're only at war with Dark Elves right now, and we're gonna beat them. So what do we do? Oh, military alliances, alright. So that gave us control of a province through a military alliance, and now we have +7 wave fragments and +5 influence, which is the biggest influence gain we've had thus far. Issue a commandment of a province, but I do not own a province. We will soon, however, so we're gonna go here. Where the Dark Elves are still recruiting. Well, ha. Nope. Nope. Saving money. I should be able to upgrade this. 4,000. But I need 2 surplus and it's gonna take how many turns to get there? It should be over at the left. 1 turn. So next turn we increase this. And then we'll do the rest. And so no settlement, no building, end turn, that was that. Did we just do diplomacy? I have to see.
So,
Pirates of Satosa.
man gods and dubious
I wanna trade with you. Can we trade?
a weak
No.
order.
Yeah, I'll get there, we'll get there. Anyway, Vortex. Army, end turn. Phew. Well, as a Total War veteran, I've noticed that the whole Warhammer series is much more. I would almost say it's like a mobile phone game, with the pop-ups after battle, with the battle rewards and all the sounds. I think CA has hired psychologists. Wave fragments 350 start of turn. Well, we're way off. Cult of Access, finish them. Yeah, of course. Thank you for the mission, and wonderful that we didn't accidentally already finish them, because if we would have, then that would have meant that we could no longer comply with the mission. Now, which one of these am I going to actually attack? This one. Hilario. Oh dear. I would have loved to fight this manually. It's so much in favor of us.
The Assur have triumphed. Enslaved.
What the heck?
Bind.
We've just lost 3 spare units.
Slaves are always useful.
Slaves are always useful.
Enslave them.
Yeah, I will enslave them.
Bind them.
There you go.
My strength grows.
Tyrion has gained a trait. Enemy killed in battle, although I killed in battle.
Protector of the Evergreen.
No, there you go. And see if we can
No mercy.
capture this. We're gonna occupy.
Tyrion.
Boom. Province secured. Mission successful. Cult of Access destroyed. Wave fragments influence. And we didn't gain rank. Alright. Now we are in our own province, so we can now recruit Lothar Seaguard, light archers. Now these are archers, these are light archers. They are not actually lighter or faster or whatever, same speed, but they are actually armored. Then Lothar Seaguard, these are like javelineers. And that I'm not so sure about. So we have one army only right now, and it's being paid for at 17 units in.
Awaiting orders.
Gosh. Where to go now? I'm gonna go and advance this, which I think is the most sensible thing to do. And then once this reaches tier 3, we're gonna disband this one. Or actually increase this one and deconstruct this one. Colonnade public order in the province. Now let's do it and keep public order high here. Focus our attention this way, because maybe we can, if they hate us enough, and they do, and they are quite above us in strength rank. We are only 57, so we're like the weaklings. But if we declare war on them, our allies of Ingmir, no, they must like us the most.
Can I offer
Ivres, which is way of them, are also going to join in with us probably, and beat the crap out of them.
Princess.
How about
may
you
approach and
guys
make your request.
do non-aggression with us? Never. Alright, then you
Protector,
don't.
welcome, fellow Asur.
Non-aggression
What
then.
would you wish?
Certainly
No,
not.
no. Okay, Avalon.
Called, the Asur bid you welcome.
I like
How can we be
Avalon.
of assistance?
However, in the Sundering submod for another submod, it's a mod for Medieval 2. This faction is actually governed by ladies, and I'm gonna play it later. But I thought it was a nice thingy. I want
Deliver your
to
message.
trade with you, but no. Anyway, my thoughts are to pick a war with these guys and conquer them with the support of those guys. And deal with public order through buildings. Not get close to Illyrian and Calador. Because I think those two also hate our guts, don't they? Yeah, Illyrian also kind of hates us quite
Guardian of the Phoenix Crown.
quite the bit. And are they allied to anyone?
Defender of the Phoenix
They're not,
Throne.
are they? No, they're not. So maybe we can pick them off one by one later. Also, if you think I should be playing the diplomacy game with influence, wow, we have 12 now, and we need real lot for a good lord. Good lord. Like this takes 15. Here it takes 30, and then you have like the Lion of Grace, or Vigorous Prince, influence 60. Hawkeye, a beautiful princess. This would be excellent. But then it's gonna take doctrinal. I also like very much, but well, we're gonna save up influence a while longer. Also, we are way from being able to pay for 2 armies in the field, so that's not so bad. Well, this concludes our episode for now. If you like this kind of content, leave a like. If you've watched the video up until this point, thanks for watching. If you're participating in the comments, well, thank you very much, because that's basically what I do this for. I like to engage my audience, my viewers. I'm curious about what people think whilst they do this. If you're in the same place where I am with ADHD and you're a gamer, I'd also like to feel that, so feel free also to jump into my Discord. There's a link in the description. Take a look at any of the other 3 races that I'm also reviewing, and see you next time.